Hello, everyone. I know this is going to get a lot of bad comments, I'm sure, but um, I'm just perplexed about why there's so many individuals out there that just don't have the capability, the capacity to think, use their brains to think critically, to think beyond. They can't even help themselves. And there's a lot of reasons for some of that, but then there's reasons that don't seem to be that there's no reasons. A lot of intelligent people out there, and I'm by far not a genius. Now, Elon Musk, um, Bill Gates, Donald Trump, what's his name for Facebook, and Warren Buffett, and just a lot of intelligent people out there, and 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 I'm sure that they can think about things that I can't think about. But I know if it was sit down and explain to me, I could understand. But there are people out there that even a simple person like me can sit down and try to explain it to them, and they just don't get it. They just don't get it. They can't wrap their brain or their thought process around even my simple way of thinking. But I do. I do. I do. I can think. My daughter can think. Um, a lot of deep stuff. I can look at everybody. I can look at everybody's side and understand where they're coming from, like in a different situation or whatever. But there is some things that I can't grab my head around, and that is, why are some people so, it seems like they're illiterate, but they're not. They know how to read, they know how to write, they know how to uh, think, go and get their groceries and stuff like that, but it's like they're just totally don't know how to think their way through to take care of themselves. Or and of course, and then they're the ones, so that um, I just recently had a conversation, did a comment on, somebody got on my channel, and big capital letters, and I had said something back to him about yelling, and he said he wasn't yelling. He said, talked about being in the Desert Storm and got his eyes burnt. And I tried to be as cordial about it as I knew how to be, but he was, to me, that was yelling and telling me that, yes, if I'm going to be out here on the internet, then I need to be uh, prepared for people's criticisms. Well, you don't need to yell about it. Well, then he explained about the eyes. And I said, well, get your own channel if you want to yell. And he said he's smart enough not to do that, to put his life history out on the internet. I said, huh, well, seems to me that's what you're doing right now, because you're in front of millions of people that think you're a troll. Well, he come back to me and said, called me a weirdo. See, there's people that just cannot grasp even what they're saying. I mean, there he said that if I'm going to be out here on the internet to put my information out here, then I should expect criticism, and that he was smart enough not to do that. Well, what do you think you just did, dude? Millions of people just seen your comment. And how I didn't know how to respond to that other than call me a weirdo. So you tell me. I mean, that's just an example. That's like my daughter working in the mental health, which a lot of these people that come in to this program aren't in there because of mental health. They're just having a hard time getting homes and food and stuff like that. But they, and they have a totally different concept of what and how to process their way of getting home and they turn themselves all inside out and backwards and uh, a lot of them don't want to follow the rules, but they sign up for these programs and they don't know how to go beyond. I don't understand their thinking process. It's just like I did a video, and I think it was a short about gratitude. That people that live in these like HUD and even there's I'm sorry, there's people like that everywhere. It's not just in the hood. It's not just in the ghettos. It's just not in low income. But they sign up for these programs and they're expected to be grateful because they got a home. Well, it's okay. Yeah, be grateful that you got a home. But if you don't like it there, don't stay there. But a lot of people can't. They have to stay there because they can't think beyond. Okay, I'm grateful for what I got, and everybody hollers at them and tells them, you ought to be grateful. You even got a roof over your head. God's sake. And this government program, I mean, but yet the government programs are set up so that if you do have a job and you want to work your way out of that and get into a better home, a better environment, a better neighborhood, a better car, then you lose their help. So it puts you right back at square one. So it's be grateful or do without. That's bottom line is what I'm saying. And people don't know how to think beyond I'm grateful that I have this and I ought to be glad I have this so I should stay here for the rest of my life even though I may have a dream that I would like to be a basketball star or get out there and play basketball or football or I'd like to be a singer and but naturally that takes um, fortitude. It takes you got to uh, move forward. You got to have the ambition. You got to have the motivation, and it's hard to have the motivation if you live in a state of gratitude for what you've already got. In fact, you don't need anything else. And that's the way the system rolls is basically what I'm saying. But there are a lot of people though that can not a lot. There's a few people that can pull themselves out of that. They just don't stay in a state of gratitude that the government's helping them or somebody's helping them or something. They're able to wait patiently and push forward for what they want. But I'm perplexed about how people think. I really am. I mean, it just And like I said, there's a lot of people out there that they're not being educated right. Is the way I believe they're not being educated right. Um, I know when I was in school, we weren't taught to think critically. Let's see. Very first thing in the morning was read a chapter of the Bible, say the Lord's Prayer, and pledge allegiance to the flag. And now I have to tell you now, I'm sorry, but reading a chapter of the Bible might have clicked with a few people, but there was no teaching to it. It's just read it, and we're supposed to understand that. Little teeny kids, you know. But then we're taught geography. We're taught um, history and English and stuff like that. Well, okay, but in math, okay, to me, math, learning to read and write, learning how to take care of your finances, learn how to think critically, learn how to use your brain. I mean, in trigonometry or whatever, geometry and all that stuff, how many people's going to need that? Really? Now, if you're going to go to college and you want to be a certain, like an engineer or something like that, then you start learning it. But for grade school, but no, we're not taught. We're not taught how to think. And so anyway, I don't know, but I just felt the need to say that because that's why you don't have that's why you have poor people, because nobody's taught how to think. Nobody's taught how to use their money wisely and how to save and how to bring out their empathy for other people and stuff. That's why you have so many hateful people out there. That's why you got so many people that come on these places and say nasty thing to people because nobody knows how to be kind. Nobody knows how to think critically, to orchestrate their life the way they need to. I'm not, oh, I shouldn't say nobody, but there's a lot of people out there that don't know. And, like, say, for instance, well, the way that they got to fight back is they got to go out and protest. No. They go out there, and hundreds of people go out there and protest and tear up stores and tear up whatever because sitting at home, they don't know how to think through to find out how to get things changed. I mean, it might change it for a minute. And the people that are trying to do whatever they're doing out there into the world to get humanity to do what they want, they'll just lay back for a little bit and then they'll come back. Now, I know this is a hodgepodge video, but I hope you can take out of it different scenarios and figure out what it is that I'm talking about. I just know that there's a lot of people out there that don't know how to think for themselves. And, I mean, they think they're thinking for themselves, but they're really not because they end up right back in the same situations that they ended up before. You give them $1 million, and I'll bet you they have it spent within a week. That kind of deal. The stimulus checks that were put back in 2020, something like that. People went out and bought great big screen TVs and all that kind of good stuff. Well, and I know what they're probably thinking. They were thinking, well, I got to sit here day in and day out, so I might as well have something really nice I can watch TV on, that kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, I don't understand why people can't think critically other than it has to be the education. The education and the food we're eating. Now, I just ordered some food, and I'm going to go down and pick it up. And not nothing fancy. Some crackers and soup and um, some lunch meat that I can just sit around and snack on because food tastes horrible to me anymore. And I try to um, get what I think is going to be healthy enough, but yet taste all right too at the same time. So I'm trying something different all the time, trying to find out what's going to work for me. And one of the things that I've been trying not to do is keep repeating my same steps, which and I do as far as moving furniture and stuff like that, trying to get things situated around because one time you got to have it this way. Um, like I had surgery on my knee, so I had to have things a certain way so that it could be easier for me to get around, stuff like that. But yeah, I don't understand people's thinking. Um, I don't know. I don't know. So, but anyway, I try to remember this stuff for myself. A merry heart doeth good like medicine, but a broken spirit will dry up your bones. And there's times that I let the world get to me. There's times that I let, okay, say for instance, when my body's not feeling well, I feel yucky. Like right now, I feel yucky because food's turning around in there, and making your stomach feel all queasy and stuff. You gotta wait. You gotta wait for the process to get through before you can do your constitutionals and things like that. I couldn't even drink a full cup of coffee this morning. So when those kind of things hit my body, I push through, but it's hard, very hard. And I tried to explain to this one person that come on there and was kind of yelling at me, but he said he wasn't. And explained to him that my point here is to show everyday life and how we push through it. How I push through it, even though I have things that I complain about, but I'm not really complaining. I'm letting y'all know that this is what's going on with me right now. And push through, just like so many of you out there have your own issues and stuff that you go through. And a lot of people don't know how to push through. And sometimes it helps when you see other people that are going through similar stuff, they're pushing through, whether they want to or not. I would like to just be able to give up and just, but there's too many people that would hurt if I gave up. And I don't mean just the YouTube channel, I mean in life generally. I would put such a burden on other people if I gave up. And like I said the other day, I didn't ask to be put on this earth, not that I can remember. I don't know, maybe my spirit did way back when. I don't know. There's no proof of that. And you've got a lot of people out here on YouTube and stuff telling you that, there's so many people that are chosen, and you chose to come here and do whatever for the Creator and different things, and I have no proof of that whatsoever. I know I get clicking in my ear uh, just before I do anything, and or I get on my channel here or whatever, but um, one this time. So who knows how this video is going to turn out? But I yeah, when your body's not feeling good, nothing's feeling good. So it's hard to push forward. Sometimes you just got to go lay down and don't be in a rush about anything, and try to get uh, things put into place when it's not good. It's not good. So, but anyway, and remember, if you believe you can, or if you believe you can't, you're right. And again, if you believe you can, then make that first step forward to what it is that you want to do. But then if you're in this mode of where you believe you can't, then change your way of thinking, because Yeshua said, "Ask anything, and the Father will give it to you." Now, we might not always like the way it comes to us, so maybe we need to be a little bit more specific. Just saying. So y'all have a great day. I'm going to try to have a great day because my body is kind of queasy, and my brain is my eyes are tired, and so. But anyway, y'all have a great.